Hello. Okay, clearly I am not the one that is usually in charge of the screens here, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that better. Welcome back to Product Like It's Friday, even though it's, what is it, Monday. I am losing track of the days because I have nothing better to do during the week these days. So every day feels kind of similar. Anyway, welcome back. Today I am going to spend some time on exploring how to animate SVG illustrations. So if you recall, last session, Adnan had pretty much completed almost the entire app. There's a few last things that I think we can work on. So I'm gonna share my screen and just talk through that just to get a sense of how we're doing. All right. So here's my Figma. FYI, I added a version 2 under delivery. Not too many changes, but I added some comments here. Essentially, the only thing on the UI front that I think Stu can use some work is the correct and incorrect screens. So in the last version, we had pretty much an identical screen to like the answer screen, except it gives you the confirmation illustration. And one thought that popped up was, wow, why is it that only the first player gets this beautiful like shout out of, you know, who is up next? So, you know, like if you're the first player of a round, you get this big shout out, but then everybody else just gets nothing. And the only way you know who is next is, I guess you can look at the left hand side, but this is more of a facilitator action than a next. So this is more for the teacher than it is for the student. And so we had talked a little bit about what that means in terms of how do we let the next student know that they're up next. Of course, they can look at the left-hand bar if they're paying attention, but we all know don't pay attention. So this is why I spent just like a couple minutes before the stream just to create these pages. I know that Adnan is big on doing everything on stream. Sometimes I am not with that because, I don't know, sometimes I'm like at 7 a.m. and I'm like, oh, let me change this. It's such a quick thing that it's not really warrant a whole session live. But that is what I've changed. And I think that's the only change here. I guess one tiny change is just changing the copy to next turn rather than next up, you know, student name, major. And then I think we had also talked about the end game, I guess, copy being applicable no matter what round the game is in. So I think that's it in terms of design / UI work that can still be worked on at this point. And what I want to spend most of today on is actually on the illustrations. So if I take a quick, we only have 3 illustrations. Yeah. So there's the bar that Adnan did a great job on last session. I was very happy he didn't make it into the app. There is this coffee illustration that kind of shows up when the answer is being revealed, but when the teacher have not indicated whether the student got it correct or incorrectly. And then there's the trumpet one, as the rain, sad illustration. And again, these came, I actually don't remember, but I did write it down. These came from storytale.io, and it's under a pack called Open Stickers. I believe they are free to use, as long as I think you can even use them in commercial projects, but don't quote me on that. Um, right. And what I want to do today is just spend some exploring how to make this animate and make it more, I don't know, wow. I want to see the raindrop drop. I want to see the trumpet trump. Okay, I think I will start with the raindrop because I have a clearer idea of what I want to do. Also, FYI, not really touched animation much as a designer. Um, I have played with hand-drawn in the past, but nothing really as a part of my product design career, which is interesting. Design for 10 years and I have not had to animate anything. So I'm learning as I go. So as you notice, I have titled with SVG Animations 2 ways. We'll see if I get to both of the ways. I'm thinking 2 ways because one, I want to try Lottie. I have played with Lottie a little in the past, but nothing like, let's just say not serious. It was more like I opened files and checked out how they worked, and I did not create anything myself. And then the other way is just going to the SVGs themselves and tweaking it with code. So I think I will first try. Let's see, where is my. I'll have too many tabs open. I don't want to share my whole screen. Where is it? Okay, I think it's this one. I hope it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. Sorry. I am struggling with my tab city. I think it's this one. There we go. Oh yeah, I had this open because I spent the last 10 minutes looking at the past streams that we've done. I mean, first of all, it was only a month ago that we started, so that's pretty cool that we have basically a functional app now. That's wild. I feel like it's not every day that we build an app in a month, and it's not our full-time job, so that's cool. But also, one of the things I half jokingly said to Adnan was that, oh, maybe we should have a streak counter, like, because he's been really, he's very really like big on showing up every day. I'm a little more lazy, I think, so he's carrying the team a lot of the times. So I appreciate you, Adnan. But I am quite impressed on like how many streams we've done. And let's just do a quick math here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's 4 times 7? I can do the math. Trust me, I can do the math. I just don't want to do it. Okay, 4 times 7 is 28. And let's say that we spent, like on average, we spent 2 hours on each stream. So we spent around 56 hours building this and talking about it, of course. And we have a functioning app. Like, that's pretty wild to me because 56 hours is just a week and a half, not even, of full-time work. So I'm pretty proud of us. Anyway, side tangent over. All right. I think the first thing I want to try is just using the SVG themselves. So I got a code pen open here. And what I want to do is I want to copy the, did I say I want to do the raindrop one? Yeah, I want to copy the raindrop SVG here and just see what we can do. I think I exported it already. If I can just find it. Sometimes I feel like I'm too messy for my own good. Like I save files and I'm like, I don't know where it went. Okay, here it is. So I'm just copying the SVG and pasting it. I can't do that. God damn it. Okay, let me open it here, I guess. How do I? Why don't I just copy the code here? Okay, sure. Let's see if that does the trick. So I'm copying that. I'm just plopping it in my code pen. See if it shows up. Sweet. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is first I want to make sure I know which path correspond to what part of the illustration. I guess the beauty about SVGs is that they're infinitely scalable. So if you zoom in, it remains sharp as ever. And I think that's really the great thing about SVG. I did not know that you can just animate each component of an SVG with CSS. So I'm excited to try it. I have never really done it before. So if you have tips, let me know in the comments. And I am losing track of where the stream is, just in case. Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. All right. I will try to do my best to look at the chat every once in a while. I'm not very good at that. So I will try to make a habit of checking every couple minutes. Anyway, all right. So I have my code pen. I got my SVG. I'm a little particular, so I want to make sure that there is, okay, the structure is fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, okay, structurally I think it's fine, but I wanna tab the path because, okay, because I don't know, I like that, I like doing that. Okay, so first I need to figure out which path correspond to which component. So I'm looking at this and I'm looking at like, okay, there are 6 raindrops, there's a cloud, there's a window, there's a background. So that's, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4 types of items in here. And I have no idea what any of this is, but I'm gonna assume that if a path has less stuff in it, it's a less complicated thing, or it's a smaller thing. And I'm just looking at it and trying to make sense of it. I'm gonna assume that these guys are the raindrops because they look similar and they are the same color. So I think first what I will do is just do some, I guess, cleanup and give it something. I don't know. I'm not sure if this will be helpful either, but I'm thinking about it like, okay, these guys are the raindrops. And you know what? Just to confirm that I am correct, I'm going to change the fill just to see if that's true. Okay, perfect. Okay, so these guys are the raindrops. And I'm just adding a class to it. I'm not sure if there's an easier way. I am not a developer, so let me know if there is an easier way. But for now, I'm adding a class just in case there are common properties that I want to add to it. So there we go. And then I think what I also want to do is to just, oh, why did I do that? I think I want to try like, maybe, I'm not sure if this is good practice either, but maybe putting the fill in the CSS rather than inline. It's more just my instinct than anything else, and see if that works. So that, okay, did that do anything? Okay, let's do the red thing. Perfect. All right, so I can get rid of the fills here. I'm not sure if this is necessary, honestly. I might be just doing useless work, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think it makes sense because, like, maybe in this process, I'm like, oh, I don't like this color anymore, and I want to, like, for example, the purple, I'm not as strongly married to. Okay, did I get them all? Raindrop, got rid of the fill, raindrop. again, it's really hard for me to talk and think and do at the same time. All right, now let's try to figure out what these guys are. So I'm gonna make it even smaller just so I can see more of the code. So what's this one? My guess is it's the background. Yes. Perfect. Okay, because there's only one background, I'm probably going to use ID. Again, no idea if it's best practice, but we'll see. I hope the audio is coming out okay, because my microphone is not happy today. Actually, give me one moment so I can figure out what's going on with my audio. One second. Just trying to see if. Oh, did I do a thing? Okay, I changed my microphone, but I'm not sure if that made a difference. We'll see. Okay, so now we got the background. And background. I don't know if I will be changing the background, but I'm just adding some placeholders, just in case. Actually, you know what? Because I did the fill thing, I am gonna just put the fill in here as well. And I'm using CodePen because because I'm a designer and I don't know how to go directly into a database or the code base or anything like that. Just a poor designer. Okay, so we got the background. I don't like the word background. I want to call it sky because that's what it is. Sky turned white. Okay, here we go. And then this guy, I wonder what this is. So it's probably either the cloud or the window frame or whatever. Let's do that again, see which thing it is. Okay, it's the cloud. So I'm gonna, because there's only one cloud, I will also just put that in here. And put that here. Get rid of this. Add the ID. Okay, we got one cloud, one sky, and by process of elimination, this is the window. Window. Oh my god, there's something wonky going on. Window. And let's get the fill here as well. And I know that I'm doing all this stuff and literally nothing has changed. And I don't know, maybe it's unnecessary, but we'll see. Okay, so now we have 3 IDs, the sky, the cloud, the purple window. We got the raindrop, and hello, welcome to the stream. And we have a class for raindrop. Right now I'm using like a class for all the raindrops, but maybe I will add IDs to each because I'm already thinking about like you probably don't want them to do the same thing all at once, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, so what do I want to do next? I want to start animating. I can collapse. Okay. I can collapse the JS tab and have more room. Good tip. How do I do that? Minimize. Thank you. Okay. So first, I'm gonna ignore the sky, the cloud, the window for now, and focus on the raindrop. I'm thinking. I mean, realistically, this is where I would first think about like, okay, I need an animation, like a keyframe situation. So let me think. I'm just gonna add. How do you comment? Just like one line. Animation. No, that's not it. Animation. Animation. Just. Okay, so first keyframes. Just gonna do drop. I'm gonna first start with just like one animation, even though I think I will need multiple. And then I'm also thinking about like, okay, how do I apply this? I'm trying to remember. I think what I need to do is to add it here, right? Animation. Is it animation? Oh, no, I think it's animation name. Because I think animation is like the building stuff. I think. Okay, we got drop, and what I want to happen is for the raindrop to move downward. Maybe it's supposed to be like downward and towards the left because I'm looking at this and like the raindrops are a little slanted to the left side. But first, I just want to get it working, moving downwards. So first, I'm gonna just gonna do like a 0% and 100%. I think what I want to do is, I don't know if I need a 0% for anything, but we'll see. So I need to transform. Translate. Which one does it translate? X or Y? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Let's do 80 pixels just for, I don't actually know how much to move it, but let's see. Okay, I'm seeing nothing happened. Nothing happened. Let's see why that is. Is it because I need to have 0% defined? Okay. Did I do X or Y? Okay, let's do X. Okay, that's awkward. You know what? I am going to ask our friend AI to create something for me. I'm just doing this off to the side because I'm not as nimble with switching my browser stuff. I'm just quickly getting an example of what that can look like. Okay, I'm not sure why this works, but I'm just gonna copy and paste it from AI and come back here. Where's my browser? Okay. Okay, I did that. Right, so I copied this from AI, and I'm seeing that nothing is happening still. Now I'm thinking, oh, is it because of my like CSS stuff here? Ah, okay. I'm just referencing AI again. Vibe CSS, baby. Okay, I think what I did wrong here is that I need to set the duration. So let's do, I don't know, 2 seconds, I guess. See if that does, perfect. Oh, that looks awful. Oh, and it does not loop. Okay, let's get that working next. How do you loop? How do you make it loop? Okay, animation. Iteration count. Oh, I wish CodePen would give me like the options when I use a thing, rather than just being like, you spell it out. Anyway, okay, let's see if that did anything. Okay, it is looping. It looks awful. What should I do next? I think I'm thinking about like how to make it smoother. See what other things we can play with here. Is delay? Yeah, maybe we'll do delay once we want like the raindrops to do different things. Timing function. What is that? Okay, let me use AI again to just figure out what that means. You know what? Let's not use AI for once. Let's just use Google. You know, sometimes Google is fine. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, this doesn't hurt. I don't know if it's what we need, but oops, it does not hurt. That's for sure. What was it called? Ease in out. Let's try that. Ease in out. It's marginally better. Now what? I think now I'm thinking about, I guess before I continue the animation, one thing I want to do is actually make sure that the raindrops are spilling outside of the window rather than inside my window. Don't want a leaky window. And I believe how SVG works is that the layer that's on top are, okay, hold on. Let me use my brain for a sec. So here's the window path. I believe how it works is that the layer on top should be at the end of the SVG, so let's try that. Oh no, the window's gone. Oh, it's back. Great. That's what we want, yes. Okay, cool. And then I think while I'm here, I'm also thinking about like, okay, should the sky? Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know why CodePen does not have autosave, or if it does, it doesn't work very well. So I'm gonna just hit save because being burned too many times by not saving stuff. All right, let's go back to the animation after that sidetrack. I think what I don't like is that there is all this like space that's happening when the raindrop is happening. So first of all, I want to make it a little bit shorter. So maybe 1.5 seconds. And I also don't like they're all moving at the same time. And I think this is where I should think about the layers a little bit. Like the top row and the bottom row, maybe they should not be doing the same thing. So I guess for now, let me figure out, oh man, let me figure out which items are the top row and which items are the bottom row. Because I'm just realizing that me taking the fill out of the path is biting me in the butt. Okay, so maybe let me try. If I did this, would it be happy? No, it would not. Okay, let's disable this block for a sec, just so I can get a sense of what these are. Okay, so this is top row, and so I'm going to start identifying them by, and maybe there is a better way as well. So let's see. Okay, this is also the top row. Did I skip one? Okay, yeah, I did. This is the bottom row. And this is the bottom row. Maybe top and bottom is also not the best way to do it either, but we'll see. Let's see. Oh, last one. It's exhausting. I think this is top. Yeah, perfect. And okay, we just changed the classes a little bit, and let's do. Oops. Let's do that for now. And I know this is just literally identical to what I've done earlier. But what I want to do is I want to think about like how I want the top row to move versus the bottom row. So first of all, I'm thinking about like the bottom row should probably, like when it drops off the screen, it should start higher than its, I guess, fixed position, so that it, it's actually falling from the cloud rather than in the middle of the window. Oh, it looks like we have Adnan here, so I will add.
How did you know? How did you know I was here?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
How's your day job?
It's coming along. It's happening. As you're working, I might still like keep an eye on certain things as they're happening.
Okay, that's fine. I will try to not bother you too much.
No worries.
I was just saying that, oh man, I closed the tab, but we spent around 56 hours on this thing. And that's pretty cool. That's all I have to say.
It is pretty cool. And just so you know, I was watching the stream thus far.
Oh, okay.
And so I know everything you said.
Okay, cool.
May I make one suggestion? I'm just like dropping right in and already making a suggestion. Yeah. I saw you renaming sort of raindrop to raindrop bottom and raindrop top, and that's actually like thumbs up. Like that's actually fine. And what you've done here is sort of combined the CSS for raindrop top, and you have comma, and then raindrop bottom. One thing I might suggest is you'll have to do the grunt work to replace it. But generally, when you're doing that kind of a thing, is to put two classes on the HTML element, which is raindrop space raindrop bottom, and that way
like that?
The shared styles, yeah, exactly. So you're not really getting rid of the raindrop class per se. You're additionally adding a class that will have maybe diverging properties, and that way you can continue to have shared and unshared things. I mean, both ways are fine. It's not, both ways are fine, but this ways might give you a little bit more flexibility moving forward.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm thinking about how to, like, what are the things that are different between the top raindrops and the bottom raindrops. So I will create some empty things here. Yeah. Oh, I cannot type. Do you have a snack today?
Do I have a snack today? A little bit. I have these, and these are very contentious. I know. These are the Terry's orange chocolate.
Oh,
And I like the chocolate plus orange mixture quite a bit.
I didn't know they're contentious.
I feel like whenever I've brought them up at different times with different groups of people, I've had like, just like polarized responses to them. Like people absolutely dislike the orange chocolate flavor.
Interesting.
So
I had no idea. I thought it's a classic.
I like it. I don't, but I'm the reactions always interest me.
Okay. So maybe what I would do is, I guess the first thing I want to try is that thing I was saying about like making the bottom row start higher. It's just this is bad. Maybe this. Drop. Just move this out of there. Is there anything that I've done so far that you're like, bad practice?
No, I mean, apart from that class naming thing, the rest seems fine. I'm not as familiar with CSS-based animations either, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm just, just watching.
Okay, so what? So the first, I guess, keyframe animation starts at 0, so like where it is in its original position. And so if I want the bottom row to start higher, okay, let me think. So it starts at 0, then go down to 60, and then to 80. And then there's also some opacity things happening too, thanks to AI who suggested changing the opacity. What happens if I don't do that? Like, does it look bad? Just curious. I don't know. It's subtle. I'm gonna undo just because it doesn't hurt, I don't think. So moving down is the numbers go up. So moving up then should start negative. So let's try 40, see what happens. Oh, okay. I have moved it. It looks interesting. Wondering if there's also like the speed that I can play with. So maybe I will also move the duration out. This is where I'm just tweaking the numbers and see what happens.
That's a lot of programming anyway.
Okay, I don't hate that. It's a little sparse feeling. I'm not sure if that's because of the speed or something else. So maybe let's try just going the other extreme. Oh, what happened? Okay. So it's like anxiety brain. Maybe not. It looks like the cloud is truly crying. Well, I don't like that. I do like that it's a little bit random, but I don't like that so many of the raindrops are like touching each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's unreasonable. Maybe I'll do this one faster and this one slower. Okay, I think what I also want to try is translating on the x-axis, because I think it could make it more natural if it falls a little bit to the left. I guess translate x. And I don't think it should transform as aggressively, but just for the sake of making sure it's doing what I think it's doing. Oh, okay. it's moving to the right. Okay, maybe I will look at the 100% first. So that's like the end state. Is it doing? Oh, what is happening there? Okay, clearly I'm not doing something right. Just gonna fill this thing and see if it makes any difference. Probably won't, but let's see. Okay, why is it doing that?
Might I make a suggestion here that
Yeah.
might help just debugging the process? So you have both sort of your top and bottom drops, but if you scroll up to, and I'm not sure, so you're working on the top one.
Yes.
If you go into the CSS for the bottom raindrop and in a new line, so sorry, not the animation, but the CSS.
Okay.
And on a line of its own, like within the block, within the bottom block, type in display : none. And what this will do is it should hide. Yeah, it should hide that. So now
okay, I can focus.
you're not you're not getting this interference happening, and you can kind of focus on the result here.
Interesting. So like, I guess what I'm observing is that when I added translate x, it's no longer dropping.
Yeah. Do you know why?
I don't.
Okay.
Can they not simultaneously happen?
They can.
Or is it because? No.
yeah. Say it. Say whatever comes to mind.
I was gonna say, is it because like maybe it should be in the same thingy?
It's not that necessarily there should be in the same thingy, although like yes, but. So if you notice line 42 and 43, what do you notice? Like, what do you notice about those lines?
They both say transform.
Yeah, and so we can try another thing. If you scroll up, and you know where it says display none, add a line below that says display : block. And so what did that do to?
Okay, so it's overriding.
Yeah, so it's not so. You know what I mean? It's like getting down to why exactly it's broken. So your instinct of they need to be together is probably correct, but it's not why they're broken. If that makes sense.
I see. Okay, so it's basically saying instead of this, do this.
Exactly. That's what this code is representing. You've overridden the previous one, and therefore you're getting that little, side to side raindrop, the windy raindrop.
Yeah. I don't know if this is how it works, but maybe I'll just do a quick Google. Animation transform.
Maybe for precision purposes, if I may jump in from time to time, just to. Yeah. So the thing that you are trying to discover specific. Well, there's a few things, right? Yeah. I mean, one is you still kind of have it on multiple lines. So let's commit, even if it's wrong. Let's commit to getting them on the same line.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if this will work. Again, like I said, it's sort of, it's kind of.
Oh, it did work.
Did it work? Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like because you kind of made the change halfway and it's not working, and now you've
That's true.
gone somewhere else and not fully committed to the change entirely. The other thing I was going to suggest is for your Google search, and this, it's not specific to this, but the idea of thinking when to search broadly and when to search specifically, right? And here you have a specific query in mind, but let's see what you search for. So let's go back to the Google search tab and let's look at the search itself.
I just searched. What did I search?
Yeah, if you just go back, I guess, if it's in,
I guess
or yeah. So you search CSS animation transform, which is a very broad, like there's multiple ways of transforming within CSS. So it's very broad, but you intentionally want something very specific. What is the thing that you want? Just maybe put it into words. Yes, but put it into words. So let's go back to the code that we have. And maybe just look at the code and just put into, not into a search query, just put into words what your intention of discovery is. Let's do that as a first step.
Like movement both on vertical and horizontal axes.
Yeah, I would even, yes, correct. But okay, let's make that more related to, and I'm trying to purposely guide to a certain thing that I'm thinking of, and my endpoint might be wrong, by the way, in this specific case, but I think generally it applies. Yes, but there's something very specific you're doing in the code. What is, we had two different lines that had certain bits of code, and we put them together. What did we put together?
To transform thingies.
Yeah, but they have, what are they?
What are they?
Yeah.
Move down and
No, they're not moved down. I don't see move down anywhere. I'm being a very sort of,
okay,
I don't see move down anywhere in the code.
Translate Y.
Yes. So put those in your search and like put, not just translate, because that's still broad. You're looking for a very specific thing. Can translate X and translate Y live together in a single line, right? And now if you see any examples, yeah, go ahead and click on the first thing. Let's see. We might get lucky here, but look, it's somebody who has the exact same problem as you, right? They're like, hey, I did this thing. What am I supposed to do? So there's this one example. There might be many more. So here they did translate both into one block. That, now we've learned something a bit different. But we might have also seen examples of there we go, translate X and translate Y. And we've seen now both examples. And it's how you can help yourself find a solution like exponentially faster, or you just use AI. But the lesson here specifically, and I'm harping on it, I'm very like, I kind of go abrupt to you're half answering and I'm like, no. And this is like, it's on purpose because I want to break your train of thought because it's going in one direction. I want to be specific. Like, what is exactly that you're trying to do that be specific to the machine. And the machine doesn't know move up, down, what have you. AI might, but when you're doing a Google search, you go, the thing that I really intend is do translate X and Y. Can they live on the same line? And, you put those keywords in and first search, we got it.
Cool. I've learned something new. Is there a best practice between like spelling out Y and X versus where is it?
The best practice would be if it's working. Okay. Is the best practice, honestly. So let's see if it's actually working. Because do you see, like, maybe let's exaggerate some of the movements and be like, okay, yeah, that's absolutely working. Oh wow, that actually looks like nice too. First of all,
something is weird. Something is going on down here too.
But it feels like that's the direction the drop should be moving in almost, no?
Yeah.
But you could be subtle as well. But okay, now we know that it's working, and I wouldn't be too concerned about a best practice. But just, I think it's the best practice is to have knowledge that it works both ways.
Cool. Okay. Now, I guess let's see how the bottom looks. So I'm gonna do that. Display business. This should be 0, right? Why won't you save my work for me? It's 2025 and autosave is not in the budget.
Are you a paying user, Mary, of CodePen?
I am not.
Is it? But is autosave like a paid feature? Maybe I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm just wondering. And what happens when you click on that? Okay, autosave is on.
Wait, what?
I think it just got turned on when you did your save because they had a little
Okay.
flash of an alert that said autosave enabled.
Oh, okay. Weird. Okay. Let's see how that looks combined. Not bad. Not bad. I don't. Now I'm starting to question if like the top and bottom is the right approach. Like.
Make them fall together though. In terms of time duration, let's see what that feels like. I feel like that looks not that bad. But did you raise the bottom ones to be more topish?
I did, but maybe it can be more. Maybe they can be more.
I was actually thinking less.
Less?
Yeah, like actually go to the original position and drop from there, just to get a sense of what it looks like. I feel like this looks a little nicer. And here's my assumption in doing that was that I feel like the designer that put it together spaced them out, so they probably like the spacing looks decent. And when we putting them together, the direction and the spacing looks a bit weird. This looks actually very nice.
Can I make it a little bit faster? Is that too aggressive?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I think I like that. The other method that I wanted to test out is using Lottie. Just for fun, for learning purposes.
Before we go there, I wouldn't mind learning something very specific here.
Okay.
And I think the range, this is nice. This is a great step forward, but it doesn't feel continuous, right? Because when it gets to the end, I kind of want more raindrops to fall from the same place. I don't know how to do this. I'm just describing what visually would look like continuous rain. This looks like it rains and then it restarts.
Yeah.
I wonder if here is a place we could leverage AI. What would happen if you actually pasted the entire SVG and the CSS into the thing and said, my issue is that the raindrops kind of jerk back to the top. Can I make it seem like new raindrops are continuously falling? That kind of thing.
Let's try it.
I don't know what would happen. I don't know if it'll get it, but it'd be really interesting.
Hello. Please help me with my animated SVG. I'm trying to be very polite, just in case one day.
Just to cost them millions.
Well, I was saying that just in case one day, they are out to get us.
Can't wait.
Okay, we got that. I'm actually going to put my point at the end. This is a illustration and stuff. I hate it when I can't spell. towards bottom left. How can I make the raindrops more continuous? Currently, pause. Relationships is awkward. I don't know. Okay. Okay.
This may or may not help. I'm actually not sure. But one of the key differences, I think, between how I had worded it and how you had worded it. So one of the things that I would like the AI to know is that, like, given the current code, it seems like the raindrops start over from the top, right? Or jerk back. And I want them to seem like it's continuous. Whereas you described it as it's awkward. And it's like, while we visually see that it's awkward or not, I think when dealing with the machine, even AI, higher specificity might get us more direct results. Maybe not, but let's see.
Okay, so how would you phrase it?
What was it that I said?
Stopping and then restarting
from the top, and it seems like they're jerking back up, right? That's the
now I want jerky.
I wonder if this is true, but let's see. Let's try it. I mean, what would happen if we just copied pasted that CSS bit in, and let's just see.
Okay. Share my screen. There we go.
Well, no, I mean, not at all. It's somewhere between terrible and closer to what we want. I feel like. What are you thinking?
I feel like it's a little too random.
I like them falling together. What I would imagine is they fall together, and it seems like new ones are falling together all the time.
Was there another suggestion?
Yeah.
Just gonna get rid of that. Go back to Chat GPT. Loop more raindrops. I thought of this. It sounds like a lot of work. Maybe it's the way to go.
It might not. Yeah, I think it might actually be. But it might not be as simple as is described here. Is there more code if you scroll down? No, none of these are really the heart of.
Can we try the more raindrops?
Oh yeah, we should try everything.
I think it makes sense somewhat.
I agree. I just don't know whether this code will accomplish it, but we should absolutely try it, of course, because I feel like it'll just look like Well, let's see. Let's see.
Okay, so I guess I just need to. It feels like duplicating anything makes me feel like it doesn't feel right. I don't know.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share. Go back. Maybe I should keep both of these and just switch between them. Oh no, I don't think I can do that. Okay, let's go back to the code pin. So, suggestion was adding another class for delay. Duplicate. And then, oh god, delay. Let's just do one for now.
Might I make another suggestion? Do you have somewhere where this is all like saved? Because the autosave will overwrite some of the changes, and we might need to go back. So maybe copy paste it to another note area, another file. Like we have some working version, and this is what we'll start off with. And then I might make a suggestion on how to approach, kind of zone down and focus on the particular effect that we're looking for.
Okay. I'm just gonna copy it somewhere. Okay.
Sorry, I know I keep jumping in, but it's like I feel like I'm trying to prevent
Sadness.
well, yeah, like in the Marvel timeline, I'm like, oh, that timeline's gonna really it's gonna have multiple divergent paths, and maybe there's and maybe again, maybe I'm wrong, but feel free to give me the feedback to be like, Adnan, what are you doing? Shut it. Feel free to say shut it. So I would actually do this. I would here, now that we have everything saved, I would actually delete all raindrops but one. Okay. Just get rid of the SVG for all the raindrops but one. Okay, let's take a look at that. Great. And now let's make this raindrop do what we want. Because, when you're adding the singular delays to 3 of them, I feel like if it doesn't work for one of them, it's not going to work for 3 of them. And visually and code-wise, we'll have to just add it to all the raindrops over and over, or change them over and over, or what have you. And then this one instance will give us the pattern. Then we copy our old code back, and we just apply the changes that we know in our heart work.
Okay.
If you can, Mary, sorry, I know I'm jumping in over and over. Highly recommended. Copy paste. So you have in the other one, you have the CSS. I gave it to you precisely. And now you're trying to recreate it from memory. And your memory will fail you. And already you notice a subtle difference. Now, it might not have made a difference. Yours might have worked, but now you're deviating from something that probably works better than what your memory will tell you.
ChatGPT suggested duplicating, I think, 2 for each element. Why?
Let's actually implement it and take a look to see what the intention was. So let's get a delay 1 and delay 2 in there. The other thing, actually typing it out from scratch is actually a good thing, I would say, but the only issue with that is if you're doing that, then you need to have whatever you're copying right in front of you, and you copy it character for character. I think one of the things that creates a lot of errors is because you read something and you try and recreate it from memory. Even if you use a single character, the computer doesn't care. The computer says broken. And because you were the confidence you had of what your memory is the reason why you did it in the first place. So that's the first place your mind goes in the debugging phase. Your mind goes somewhere else, and now you're off to a Google search or some other pattern for debugging. Whereas if either you copy paste or you make sure that you like character for character copying it. These are like super basic things sometimes, but people don't do it. People just don't do it, and they run into issues with computers. Is this what you wanted in your heart, Mary?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No,
I
yeah,
don't think so.
no, it definitely isn't, and that won't work either. So, what we
Like, what's happening here? Like,
so it's given as a solution that's not quite there. And you know when I'm like, that won't quite do it, because I think in my mind I was envisioning something like this would happen. But if we break it down visually, what we want is for the first layer of raindrops to drop a little bit, and then for the next ones to come in, versus what's happening now is like these fall and these fall very quickly. No, I want these to fall for a bit, and then I want these to emerge and then fall along with it.
Yeah.
And by that time, hopefully these have gone up to fall back. And
does that?
then
but is that not what the delay should do?
No, because if let's go ahead and try and increase the delay on one of them, like you had done.
Maybe I don't know what delay means.
Yeah, let's do a 1 second delay. It just it just sticks there, and now it's like now it's probably synced. Exactly. So the first, it's literally one layer is hidden. So let's kind of break down probably what we want in our head. Where one layer is, so we do have two drops. This drop is kind of hidden, and it begins to show once this drop has dropped a certain distance or a certain time. And now, hopefully, we see that kind of a pattern. I don't know how to do it. I know how to describe it, but I don't know how to do it. Can we describe that?
Yeah.
To the AI.
Oh, should I share my screen? Maybe I'll just quickly do this.
Do you have oh, okay, I see. I was wondering whether you had like a tab that AI, like if you shared a window and you had an AI ChatGPT tab, we can switch back and forth.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm signed in on the browser.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I was wondering what your setup was. No worries.
But let's see. Okay, I think it's fine. I want the second jump to start dropping. Reached. I don't know, 80%. Okay, down. That doesn't feel. Want.
Did it give you an answer? The other thing we can do, once we've sort of exhausted this path, is just to Google raindrop animation in CSV and see if there's any, or in SVG, and see if there's any examples that we can just copy outright.
Okay, it's not giving me anything different.
Really? Unfortunate.
Oh, look, there's another code pit. look at that rain. It's a little different, but
Are you searching in a secret window that we can't see?
yes. Just found another pen. Linear infinite.
Yeah, I guess this one's more JavaScripty, which will kind of cause it to have. I mean, I guess it's fine.
Oh, this is more complicated than I think what we're looking to do.
It's because it's also generating those raindrops in the JavaScript code more than it is handling them. So there might be other simpler examples that we can find.
And here if we set it to drop effect, so we'll have there's some border radius to make it a little.
There might be a demo page.
No. Why? Oh, here's one. Oh, what the heck? What is this?
That looks like Hamel, I want to say.
Huh.
Is that what it is? What's in the brackets? I'm not able to see on the screen as clear. What's
Slim?
Slim? Yeah, Slim is a Hamel's very specific to Rails, but yeah, this is Slim.
Damn, 2 lines.
Yeah, what if you know where it says 0.149?
Yeah.
Change it to 1. You can barely see.
Yeah.
Any drops. What if you do 2? Oh no, there it is. There's that one drop. It's just one drop. Yeah, I think we're trying to do something very specific, I feel like, and these examples are more. Although this one might not be that bad because it starts off with i.rain. Oh, and then it uses CSS. With also like these for loops in SCSS, which we probably don't want to get into. Okay, I have an idea.
Yes.
Yes to I have an idea? Okay.
Yes.
Which is in the keyframe. So instead of delay 1 and delay 2, let's duplicate. Yeah, let's get rid of this stuff for now. Actually, yeah, let's get rid of these styles for now as well. Like, let's just get rid of that block. And then instead of delay 1 and 2, let's call it layer 1 and layer 2. So same raindrop, layer 1, layer 2.
Okay.
Right, and so now we have 2 of these falling at the same pace. What I would, and I don't know how animation works, so this is all just experimental in terms of what we're trying here. Let's say for layer 2, we have a slightly different animation, and that animation has
different keyframes?
Yeah, because when I say we want it hidden, that's just opacity, for example, right? And so this one would appear at a different. It would have a higher delay, and while it's delayed, it's also the opacity is also 0. So we're not sort of doing opacity for an effect per se. We're doing opacity for timing. And this, we might not end up anywhere with this solution, but at least it gives us an idea of like, hey, given what we know about animations, can we leverage our knowledge to kind of makeshift have something work? This might not even be the right way to do it, but if it works, then there's nobody else here to argue with us,
Okay. Guess I'll see.
And there might be a lot of duplication, but also who cares? Like, it's just like, it doesn't matter.
Can't type. Okay, so what do we want in this? I guess I'll copy this as a starting point. Would it be like would the animation delay happen here?
I don't know if that's possible. What I'm thinking is we add more percentages where it remains the same.
I see.
And then later on, like I'm just riffing. Like I have no idea. I'm trying to think, hey, from a breakdown point of view, I want this to be hidden and remain here. And then halfway through this falling, I want this one's animation to start. So it's not, and I don't know, like I don't know how else to control.
What happens if I do that? Okay, nothing happened.
What were you expecting?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe, but then like
I would have said, for 10, 20, 30, 40 until 50, let's just actually just copy paste that whole block.
this one?
Yeah. Because now we're telling it, take us from opacity 0 to opacity 0. Take us from this to so technically it should keep us in the same spot. And then the animation would start from 50 onward. Sorry, what I meant was, oh, yeah, maybe that works as well. Yeah, if you do just 50 over there, instead of, let's say, 80. So that's halfway through. And then maybe the animation actually starts halfway through.
Okay.
But we need to slow it down.
Let's say 5. I think it's getting there.
Maybe even slower. Okay, interesting. They seem to sync at some point, unfortunately. So no. Another thing that's happening, it's dropping really. The second drop is dropping really fast. It seems. Can we do a hidden like on layer 1? Let's just do a display none. No, that seems fine.
I wonder if it's like, because like I'm thinking like,
okay, yeah.
The first animation is is only moving starting at 10% to 100% across 1 second. And so doing the math, 10%, like if it's part of 2 seconds, would be, what is it, 20%? Or no.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep playing with it. See if that's, like that's the thing is like we don't have to be correct in our mind. We have to be correct in the code, and we can easily test our assumptions in the code by changing the code.
Like maybe it's 45%. It's hard to tell.
And maybe, yeah, let's bring that back. Yeah.
No.
I feel like let me try and think some of this through, which is, what if we delay it even further? Let's just say, how much is the delay? I'm not doing it for correctness. I'm doing it for like testing. I'm like, what happens when? So if you scroll up on the delay on the second layer, what happens when we delay like 4.2 seconds?
This one?
Yeah. Yeah, 4.5 or whatever. Okay, so that's so they need to be fairly close together. But for whatever reason, so you have 90 and 100. I think we need a different break between. So instead of 90, what if we did what if we actually did do 50 for the first one? So instead of 75, we did 50. And then we also had a 75 and a 90. So like we're giving it more because the drop is falling really fast. And I kind of want to slow it. Does that make sense? And I want to see what if we add more steps in between where we slow down the drops in pixels, not time.
I guess this doesn't matter. Wait, which one is which?
I think you will need. I think you got rid of a bunch of code that says it doesn't matter, but it might actually matter.
No, it does. Like
Yeah, because we want the transform to remain 0. Like, oh no, maybe it doesn't matter. No, I think it does. It does. Huh?
Wait, why is it gone?
I think it might matter. Scroll up, please. Let's see. It's gone because it's like goodbye. It doesn't.
You keep messing with me.
Yeah, it doesn't love us anymore. Maybe let's try adding that transform line back to the 50%. That's probably not why. I'm just
back here too. Wait, I see it.
Yeah, it's back. It's back. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, let's remove this. But I think there's a consequence of that specifically because it's like what we read in intention, the computer doesn't process in code always. What if so in the 70%, let's change that a little bit because from 0 to 50, it's doing nothing. It's staying in place. Then from 50 to 70, we want it to move at a different pace. So what if we actually said 30 pixels? Let's get it halfway to the 90.
This one?
Yeah. So let's say, what if we said 30?
I did something weird with my keyboard. Oh man, what did I do?
What did you do?
I don't know. I think I pressed some keys and now like my typing is like replacing
Oh, that's weird.
stuff. And I think I've done this before and I don't know how to get it.
Are you on a Windows machine?
I am, sadly.
Oh.
Wait, this is why.
Okay, I think. What if we did -20 instead of the -30? Okay, the pause there is a bit weird, unfortunately. Maybe let's just see them both together, and then if you want, we can give up because we're just not good enough. We're just
You
not.
can't put it that way.
Yeah, of course I can do it. I'm a grown man. I can do. Yeah, there's some. The layers that we added aren't quite fluid. There's some fluidity that works here. It's just we don't know how to do it.
I'll give this to AI for like one last try.
Okay. I might try something on the side here with AI. Let's see. I'm trying to think what nice way I can try it. And if this works off stream, then maybe we can try it on stream as well. What are you giving AI, Mary? You don't want to? Is it a secret?
No, I'm just
Okay,
giving the existing code with like the layer stuff,
got it.
hoping that could help. What about...
Hmm. Do you have something that you feel good about?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Not really, but let's see. I think I can share this screen, this
Okay.
link with you, and maybe you can take a look. I tried something; it was hideous, but I think it's worth
Both.
examining.
Okay. Let me. Oh man, I have to log in.
Yeah, it will want you to authenticate with Google before you can even do anything.
Not now.
Yeah, no, you don't deserve it. And it's like, oh, it won't give it to you. That's fine. Maybe can you go to the main, like maybe click on the logo or something just to go to the main thing, start a new chat maybe. There we go. Okay, here I'd asked it to animate a raindrop, just a single raindrop from the top to the bottom, but it used something. I didn't like what it did. It was kind of hideous.
Can we?
Copy paste our raindrop in there. Yeah, let's do that. That's what I was thinking too.
Like, do you think I should?
Yeah, just copy paste one.
Hold. Just the raindrop?
Yeah, just one, the path or whatever it is of that raindrop. You know, like the one with the CSS of being like, yeah, there you go, perfect. And say,
Should I get rid of some of these?
no, that's fine. That's fine. And you could say animate this SVG raindrop.
I can't. SVG raindrop.
Falling from the top to the bottom of the screen, and then also maybe moving sideways a little bit. Well, let's see. So it's going to, oh, okay. Well, let's see what it does. The additional instruction I had given mine was to do it in CSS because it might just do it in JavaScript. But let's see what happens. I forgot to add that on. But let's see what it ends up doing. And then let's ask it to do it in. It seems like it is using CSS. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, look, it's creating multiple.
Yeah, it's doing multiple raindrops. Although it's not what you asked it. I think you said single, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. What? What am I supposed to do with this?
Where's the raindrop, bro?
I don't know.
Where are my raindrops?
Like, there's 0 raindrops.
Yeah, maybe just tell it I don't see any raindrops falling.
What?
Okay, maybe I can share my screen.
Okay.
And give me just 1 second. Maybe I can share my screen and we can see.
So you got it to do something at least?
I got it to do something in some ways. So let me just prep my screen and then I can share it. It's not the best, but I just wanted to be like, oh, this is closer to what I want. And so can we make ours do something similar? Like, honestly, I feel like it'd just be easier to take a course on animating raindrops than like asking AI to do it. You know what I mean? Like, Isn't
feel like it's not like I just don't know how to do it, but I don't think it doesn't feel like it's a hard thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like it shouldn't be this complex to do. So I'll tell you how I started, and so I was like, give me a blue SVG raindrop animated in CSS, dropping from the top of the screen to the bottom, because I didn't want to give it too much, right? But also going a little sideways. So it did it, and I was like, okay, I didn't like the raindrop had like shadings or whatever. I'm like, no, just make the raindrop just one SVG shape, please. Like it had multiple SVG. I'm like, what are you doing? Relax. And then it wasn't moving sideways. And then, what did I say? I said, make the raindrop shaped in the direction it's moving. And then now it's totally not shaped in the direction it's moving. It'd be the other way. You know what I mean?
It's like flower petals.
Yeah, it tried. So, and then I said, start another raindrop one after another. So it looks like it's continuously falling. Right. So what you see here was not happening at this stage. Oh, I can roll back to this checkpoint, I guess, just to see. Okay, let's try that. I might lose everything, but let's see. Well, I think that's a lost feature. I feel like I should be able to roll back here.
Yeah.
So I can show people the changes that are happening, because I feel like this is kind of the effect I want in my heart, right? Like it's falling and it looks like there's more falling with it without this kind of like jaggedy jerkiness.
Can you see the code and see like?
Oh boy, can I ever? Yeah. So what it's doing here is it's doing something very similar, right? It's created just a simple, like it had like multiple things in here, and I was like, geez, stop. And so it gave me something simpler. It's added this bit of code, but we can kind of copy paste and manually have multiple drops. So that's actually not a problem, right? To doing something like this. So it's just like 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay.
right? So it has 5 of them. And then it's created this animation here. It's using top and left instead of like from where you are to where you're going. But maybe we can ask it to use translate. And then it's just doing this animation delay. And it's timed it, I think, based on this. It's infinite. I think yours were infinite as well, right? Yeah.
What is cubic? What am I seeing here?
Yeah, cubic Bezier. I don't know what that pattern is, but that's what it's using to fall. I'm going to ask it to, in this CSS animation, instead of using top left, can you use translate X and translate Y? And let's see if it is able to do that and maintain some sense of the animation. It feels like these are fairly close together here, but it does feel fairly continuous, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what that code looks like now. I don't know what this bit of the translate is with this here. And then, yeah, look at how it's sort of kept. They all start off invisible at a certain transform level, and then they go. So I guess my instinct of adding multiple transform things probably wasn't correct. They're doing some calc business to drop. Oh, because it wants to drop the full viewport. We probably don't have to do that. I don't know what this translate AD does. So CSS translate. I am actually doing general now because I just want to see what it takes. So I actually legitimately want to see the.
I haven't an idea, but I'm gonna do that in the background, and if it works, I will share.
Yeah. Or you could do it in the foreground as well.
Well, it's your turn
To struggle.
to struggle in public.
I feel like we got something nice here. I feel like we're like almost onto something. I just want to understand it a little bit. What I don't understand is, so translate takes a length percentage and another length percentage. And I'm not sure what either one of them do. Maybe I can just ask Bolt.
Is Bolt your tool of choice for this type of thing?
No, I don't even use this actually. But actually, I've not done this type of thing before, much at all, really. But I know that it'll do the code and we can visualize it both at the same time, right? And I feel when you pump it into GPT, you're not really visualizing. Means move the element 20% of its parent's container's width, and then move the element 45 pixels upwards. Okay, so it seems like it's moving it up a bit. Okay.
Wait, I think I
See, the timing also matters because this repeat loop is 3 seconds, and all of these kind of fall within that range. And so it's like 3 or 4 different things combined that would make it work, presumably. Are you ready to share where you are?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And then I think we'll have to call it soon.
Okay, sure.
Wait, am I sharing? Wait, hold on.
I think I am still sharing. And okay, yeah. I think I clicked mine off at the same time you clicked it, and we reversed the changes.
So I added this, which was suggested by ChatGPT,
Okay.
and that seemed to have gotten rid of that like stuck visual. So like if I get rid of this, I think it will look like stuck. Yeah. And I don't know what this means, but I
That's fine.
added it, and it seems to have worked to an extent. So I wonder if we can just see how that looks with the rest of
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. And you can kind of, where you'd copy pasted, you can bring in your other raindrop friends
Yes.
to see if they
Find the raindrops. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa.
So should I just add the class to each of them?
Let's see.
Well, I guess they're all really one, and I need to duplicate. What a pain! Is this a part of the grunt work?
Yeah, this is just our life now. This is who we are.
Copying raindrops.
Yeah, copy paste, change 1 to 2.
Oh, my keyboard thing is fixed somehow. Not sure how. Okay.
It's not quite what we want. I think I want to capture.
Wait, did I copy them all? I think I did. Okay.
Yeah. I do want to capture some level of smoothness that we were getting in like this bolt raindrop. and see if we can't translate it to
Yeah.
what we have. Um,
How do you comment out HTML?
you know where it says, yeah, so you can over here open kind of the bracket for an HTML thing, exclamation mark, dash, dash. And then at the end, you want to do dash, dash, close bracket.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Is there anything in the boat code that?
Oh, that I want to try? Yeah. One, can we take a look at your, okay, so your whole thing is going about 1.5 seconds. One thing I wouldn't mind, even in this stage that we have, is to try and change the layer 2 animation to be half of, the layer 2 animation delay to be half of that 1.5. Because right now it's a third. And let's just see what, like, slowly sort of take certain things in the pattern. This actually immediately looks much nicer, because half the solution I think is in the timing, right? Like, so the 1.5 halfway through one of the animations, we want the other animation to begin. Versus if it's too delayed or too soon, it feels unnatural.
Yeah.
I actually don't hate this at all. This is actually very nice. It looks like it's fairly continuous.
Other raindrops back and see. Like, I also wonder if it's like the, Jesus, it's like the placement, or
yeah. Like now it just, there's too much happening. What if you only have the top layer to start?
Okay.
So let's only comment back in the top ones.
Let me put the bottom at the bottom. And, okay. Oh, I think I somehow copied the wrong. Maybe I just copied the wrong thing. Now I'm like,
could be, yeah.
Okay, maybe we should do this another time, because I know we are approaching the 2-hour mark.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, my other thing went away, so I'm not as constricted in terms of time, but yeah, I think we can end it and maybe retry. Honestly, we could also retry from scratch in a way, but this time with knowledge, and use this as a reference point and kind of slowly build it. Because I think once you, like, here was great learning. We like learned a lot of different aspects of animation or whatever, but when we but a lot of it was tweaking based, and the technique of like starting over is to almost say, hey, do I really have this in my heart in some way where I understand, away from the tweaking, how to build it end to end. But I think we got some clues in here that we can probably leverage for next time.
Cool. And next time I'll try to use Lottie.
Okay, yeah, Lottie as well.
That's
Yeah.
something I want.
Okay, sorry, I got in the way here. I apologize.
We'll just change the title.
Yeah. No, but I felt like I learned quite a bit about just animation timing, even,
Yeah, it's yeah, I think like doing the math, like the mental math of like, okay, like we want it to show up at the halfway mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to get better at copy pasting.
all this for just a little bit of rain. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I'm sure that it will make the rest easier.
Yeah. I think once once it all comes together, I think it'll look fantastic.
Cool. All right. Are you calling it as well?
Yeah, I'm calling it as well. I think we can probably we can continue with animation stuff, and then I think you've already adjusted the screen for announcing the next player on the correct incorrect area. So I'll probably take a look at that when we get to the next coding, logical coding part.
Cool.
All right.
I will send you a direct link to that. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of Product Like It's Friday, even though it's Monday.
It's still Monday.
It's still Monday. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Let's go home, everyone.